Ever wondered why pushing too hard sometimes makes things worse? Imagine a friend who wanted to learn to play the piano. He practiced day and night, even skipped meals, and guess what? He ended up with sore fingers and a massive headache instead of beautiful music. This might sound familiar, right? In life, when we force things, they often don't go as planned. And that's exactly where Stoicism comes in. The ancient philosophy teaches us that instead of pushing and shoving our way through life, we should embrace what comes naturally and go with the flow. Stick around because we are going to dive deep into how letting go and accepting can actually lead to a more fulfilling and peaceful life. The nature of control is a cornerstone of Stoic philosophy. At its heart, Stoicism teaches us to differentiate between what we can control and what we cannot. Think about it this way: you cannot control the weather, but you can control how you dress for it. Picture this: your friend plans a picnic and spends days perfecting everything from the sandwiches to the playlist. But on the day of the picnic, the sky opens up and it starts pouring rain. He gets frustrated, sulking over the ruined plans. Now, what if he instead accepted the rain and brought out a deck of cards or had an indoor picnic? He would have enjoyed the day no matter what. This simple shift in perspective can make a huge difference. You see, focusing on what we can control, our actions, responses, and attitudes, frees us from unnecessary stress and disappointment. Another funny example might be your attempt to control your pet cat. We all know how independent and mischievous cats can be. You can set all the rules you want, but if Mr. Whiskers decides it's time to knock over the vase, it's going to happen. Instead of getting mad, you could just keep the vase out of reach. By accepting the cat's nature and adjusting your expectations, both you and Mr. Whiskers remain happy. So the next time life throws a curveball, ask yourself, is this within my control? If it isn't, let it go and focus on what you can do instead. Epictetus' teachings provide profound insights into control and acceptance. He famously said, "It is not events that disturb people. It is their judgments concerning them." This means that our reactions to events, not the events themselves, cause us distress. Imagine you're stuck in traffic. The traffic itself is not stressful. What makes it stressful is your reaction to it: impatience, anger, frustration. Epictetus teaches us that by changing our judgments, we can change our experience. He also emphasized the dichotomy of control, a fundamental principle of Stoicism, which states that some things are within our control and others are not. To illustrate, consider a student preparing for an important exam. The student can control how much they study, their effort, and their understanding of the material. However, they cannot control the questions on the exam or the grading. By focusing on their own actions and preparation, and letting go of anxiety over the uncontrollable aspects, the student can approach the exam with calm and confidence. Epictetus also taught about living in accordance with nature. This means accepting life as it unfolds and adapting to it. Imagine a sailor navigating the sea. The sailor cannot control the wind or the waves, but can adjust the sails and steer the ship accordingly. This acceptance and flexibility lead to a smoother journey. In our lives, we can adopt the same approach, accepting challenges and adapting our actions. Through these teachings, Epictetus shows us the path to inner peace and resilience. By embracing what we can control and letting go of what we cannot, we navigate life's ups and downs with grace and clarity. This mindset not only reduces stress, but also enhances our overall well-being. The art of letting go can bring an incredible sense of peace and tranquility. Imagine this: you have been planning a big family dinner for weeks. You want everything to be perfect: the food, the decorations, the music. However, as the day arrives, things start going wrong. The oven stops working, a couple of guests cancel last minute, and the dessert gets burnt. In moments like these, it's easy to get caught up in the frustration and stress of things not going as planned. But what if you decided to let go of your need for perfection and just embrace the chaos? Instead of stressing over the burnt dessert, you could turn it into a funny story and improvise with some ice cream instead. By letting go of your expectations, you can enjoy the moment and laugh with your guests, creating a relaxed and joyful atmosphere. Another amusing scenario is when you're trying to assemble a new piece of furniture. You start with high hopes, meticulously following the instructions. But soon, the screws don't fit, the pieces are mismatched, and you're left with a wobbly table that seems to defy all logic. Instead of losing your temper and throwing the manual across the room, take a deep breath, step back, and let go of the need for it to be perfect. You might even discover a creative, unconventional way to put it together that works just as well. And if not, you will have a great story to laugh about with your friends. Letting go is not about giving up or being passive. It's about recognizing what is beyond our control and choosing not to let it rob us of our peace. Picture a parent trying to get their toddler to eat vegetables. They try singing songs, making funny faces, even bribing with treats. But the stubborn toddler just won't have any of it. Instead of turning mealtime into a battleground, the parent could let go of the struggle and try offering vegetables in a different way, maybe in a smoothie or a fun-shaped snack. By letting go of the immediate goal and approaching it with creativity and patience, both the parent and the child can enjoy a more peaceful mealtime. Through these everyday examples, it's clear that letting go can transform our experiences and bring a sense of calm and joy. It allows us to adapt, to laugh at the unexpected, and to focus on what truly matters. Let go of the need to control every detail and embrace the flow of life. In doing so, you will find that peace and contentment naturally follow. Accepting the flow is like a leaf floating down a stream. Imagine you are that leaf, starting your journey at the edge of a tranquil river. At first, everything is calm and smooth. You drift effortlessly, carried by the gentle current. But soon, the river becomes more turbulent. There are rocks and branches in your path, and the water rushes faster. Now, if you were to force yourself against the current, trying to go upstream or getting stuck against a rock, you would only experience frustration and struggle. But if you let go, if you follow the flow of the water, you will find that the river eventually calms and you drift on peacefully again. This is the essence of going with the flow. Instead of resisting the natural course of events, you accept them and adapt. Think about a surfer riding a wave. The surfer does not fight the ocean. They understand its rhythm and harness its power to glide smoothly on the surfboard. When the wave comes, they paddle to catch it, balancing and steering with the flow of the water. If they were to resist, they would simply get tossed around and wiped out. Similarly, in life, when you go with the flow, you adapt to the situations as they come. You don't force things to happen. You ride the wave of events, responding with flexibility and grace. Picture a skilled dancer improvising to music. They do not rigidly follow pre-planned steps, but move fluidly with the beat, adapting their steps to the rhythm and energy of the music. This spontaneity and fluidity create a beautiful dance. By accepting the flow, you embrace the unexpected, find creative solutions, and make the best of whatever comes your way. It's about trusting the process and knowing that life will carry you forward, just like the river carries the leaf. So next time you feel the urge to control every detail, remember the leaf on the river, the surfer on the wave, and the dancer with the music. Relax, let go, and allow yourself to go with the flow. You will find that life becomes a more enjoyable and rewarding journey. Common misconceptions. Some people believe that Stoicism means being emotionless or indifferent, much like a robot. But in reality, Stoicism teaches us to understand and manage our emotions, not suppress them. Imagine someone thinking a Stoic is like a stone-faced monk who never laughs. Quite the contrary, a Stoic can laugh heartily at a joke and still remain composed during adversity. Another misconception is that Stoics are passive and do not care about achieving goals. This could not be further from the truth. Stoics encourage active engagement in life, but with the wisdom to focus on what is within our control. Picture this: some people might assume Stoicism is about accepting everything passively, like a doormat. But instead, it is about responding wisely and effectively within the realm of our influence. Then there is the myth that Stoicism means enduring suffering without any effort to change one's circumstances. Think about someone who stays in a bad job or toxic relationship because they think Stoicism means just toughing it out. In fact, Stoicism teaches us to distinguish between what we can change and what we must accept, and to take action where we can. It's like thinking a Stoic would sit through a terrible movie just because they paid for the ticket. Instead, a true Stoic would acknowledge the loss, get up, and do something more enjoyable. So let's debunk these myths and understand that Stoicism is about living a vibrant, engaged life, but with a clear mind and a resilient heart. The real-life applications of Stoic principles shine through the lives of many famous individuals who've embraced the philosophy with remarkable results. Let's start with the renowned Roman Emperor Marcus Aurelius. He is often remembered not just for his reign, but for his insightful writings in Meditations, where he explored the very essence of Stoic thought. Picture this: managing an empire while dealing with wars, plagues, and political turmoil. Yet he remained calm and composed, making decisions with a clear mind. His ability to focus on what he could control and let go of what he could not is a testament to the strength of Stoicism. He didn't force his will upon the world. Instead, he adapted, leading with wisdom and resilience. Next, think about Nelson Mandela, who spent 27 years in prison. During that time, he exemplified Stoic principles of patience, acceptance, and mental fortitude. Imagine being confined for nearly 3 decades and emerging not with bitterness, but with forgiveness and a vision for a better future. Mandela's ability to maintain his inner peace and focus on what he could control, his thoughts, reactions, and long-term goals, allowed him to transform an entire nation. His story demonstrates how Stoicism can provide the strength to endure and ultimately overcome enormous adversity. Another fascinating example is J.K. Rowling, the author of the Harry Potter series. Before a literary success, she faced numerous rejections from publishers and struggled as a single mother. Instead of succumbing to despair, she embodied the Stoic principle of perseverance. By focusing on her writing and what she could control her creative process, she eventually found incredible success. Now, picture her getting yet another rejection letter, taking a deep breath and thinking, "Well, that's out of my hands. What I can do is keep writing." This mindset not only helped her achieve greatness, but also inspired millions of readers around the world. Then there's the legendary actor and martial artist Bruce Lee. He famously said, "Be like water," a principle that echoes Stoic teachings about adaptability and going with the flow. Imagine Lee training rigorously, facing setbacks like injuries and cultural barriers, yet consistently adapting and finding new ways to improve. His approach to life and martial arts was all about flexibility and resilience. Much like a Stoic who focuses on what they can change and remains unfazed by what they cannot. Finally, consider Elon Musk, the visionary behind companies like Tesla and SpaceX. Musk's journey is filled with both extraordinary successes and numerous setbacks. Instead of being discouraged by failures, such as the initial failed rocket launches that nearly bankrupted SpaceX, he kept moving forward. Picture him standing in front of a failed rocket, shrugging and saying, "Well, back to the drawing board." His ability to maintain focus on his goals, despite external challenges, is a modern-day reflection of Stoic perseverance and dedication. These stories show that Stoicism is not about being passive or emotionless. It's about maintaining a resilient mindset, adapting to challenges, and focusing on what we can control. Whether it's leading an empire, enduring imprisonment, facing rejection, overcoming physical barriers, or pushing the boundaries of technology, Stoic principles have guided these famous individuals toward remarkable achievements. And perhaps, by adopting some of these principles in our daily lives, we too can navigate our challenges with greater ease and success. The first practice involves starting your day with a Stoic reflection. When you wake up in the morning, take a few minutes to mentally prepare for the day ahead. Think about the challenges you might face and how you will respond to them. Imagine your boss throwing an unexpected task your way or traffic making you late. Instead of getting stressed, decide in advance to remain calm and focused. Picture yourself like a duck on water, calm on the surface even if your legs are paddling furiously under the water. This sets the tone for your day and reinforces that you can handle whatever comes your way. The second practice involves practicing gratitude. Each evening, take a moment to reflect on what went well during the day. Did your cat finally stay off the kitchen counter? Did you find a parking spot right away? Celebrate these wins, no matter how small. It's like finding $1 in your old jeans. Those little bits of happiness add up. By focusing on the positive, you train your mind to see the good, which makes it easier to accept the not so good. The third practice involves the art of reframing. Throughout your day, try to reframe negative situations in a positive light. Did you spill coffee on your shirt? Instead of seeing it as a disaster, think of it as an opportunity to wear that shirt you totally forgot you have. Reframing helps you to shift your perspective and reduces stress. It's like turning a lemon into lemonade, or better yet, a lemon tart. The fourth practice involves taking mindful breaks. During your day, take a few moments to step back and breathe. If you are at your desk, close your eyes and take a few deep breaths. If you are running around, pause and look at something beautiful like a tree or the sky. Imagine you are like a phone that needs recharging. These little breaks help you reset and keep your energy levels up, making it easier to go with the flow. The fifth practice involves learning to laugh at yourself. When things don't go as planned, instead of getting upset, find humor in the situation. Did you burn dinner? Laugh it off and order pizza. Missed your bus? Enjoy a few extra minutes of people watching. By not taking yourself too seriously, you can accept life's little hiccups with grace and a smile. These simple daily practices can help you cultivate acceptance and a more stoic mindset. Start your day with a reflection. Practice gratitude in the evening. Reframe negative situations. Take mindful breaks. And don't forget to laugh at yourself. By incorporating these habits, you will find that acceptance comes more naturally, and life's challenges become easier to navigate. So give them a try and see how they can transform your day-to-day experiences. The visualization techniques for letting go are like using your mind's eye to create a peaceful path through chaos. Let's start with the first technique, the balloon method. Picture yourself holding a balloon. Imagine that the balloon represents whatever is troubling you: stress from work, a disagreement with a friend, or even a minor inconvenience like spilling your coffee. Now, take a deep breath and visualize yourself releasing the balloon. As it floats away into the sky, feel the weight lifting from your shoulders. This mental exercise helps you to symbolically let go of burdens, creating a sense of lightness and freedom. Next, we have the river technique. Close your eyes and visualize a gently flowing river. Imagine placing your worries, fears, and frustrations onto leaves and setting these leaves on the water. See the leaves drift away, carried by the current until they disappear from sight. This technique encourages you to release your attachments to things beyond your control, allowing the river of life to carry them away. The third technique is the chalkboard eraser. Picture a large chalkboard filled with all your concerns, anxieties, and negative thoughts written in chalk. Now, visualize yourself taking a big eraser and slowly, deliberately wiping the board clean. As the words vanish, feel your mind becoming clear and open. This method helps you to mentally clear away clutter, making space for peace and clarity. Then there is the cloud method. Imagine lying on a soft meadow looking up at the sky. Picture your worries and stresses as clouds drifting overhead. Rather than focusing on the clouds, shift your attention to the spaces of blue sky between them. Slowly, see the clouds dissolve, leaving nothing but clear, peaceful sky. This technique is about acknowledging your concerns, but not letting them overshadow the serenity and beauty of the present moment. Lastly, consider the sand drawing. Visualize yourself on a quiet beach, drawing your worries and stresses in the sand with a stick. Picture the tide coming in, washing away your drawings, smoothing the sand as if they were never there. The sand represents the impermanence of troubles, teaching you that just as the tide washes away your worries, time and acceptance will bring relief. Using these visualization techniques, you can create mental images that help you to let go of stress and focus on peace. Imagine the balloon floating away, the leaves drifting down the river, the chalkboard being erased, the clouds dissolving, or the tide washing away your worries. By practicing these methods, you can cultivate a mindset of acceptance and tranquility, embracing the flow of life with a lighter heart and a clearer mind. Meditation and focus can serve as powerful tools to help us embrace the practice of not forcing things. Imagine starting your day with a few moments of quiet meditation. You sit comfortably, close your eyes, and take a deep breath. As you exhale, you let go of any tension in your body, feeling your muscles relax and your mind begin to settle. In this space of calm, you are not trying to control your thoughts or force them into a specific pattern. You are simply observing them as they come and go. This practice helps you to cultivate a mindset of acceptance, letting thoughts flow naturally without resistance. Think about a situation where you are trying to solve a difficult problem at work. You might feel the urge to push harder, to think more intensely, but sometimes this only leads to frustration. Instead, take a few minutes to meditate. Focus on your breath, feel it entering and leaving your body, and allow your mind to clear. In this state of relaxed awareness, new ideas and solutions often emerge effortlessly. It's like trying to see through muddy water. The more you stir it, the cloudier it gets. But if you let it settle, it becomes clear. Consider the story of a painter who is struggling to complete a piece. Frustrated, they put down their brush and step back. They close their eyes and take a few deep breaths, shifting their focus inward. As they meditate, they release their attachment to how the painting should look. When they return to the canvas, they find themselves painting with a newfound fluidity and inspiration. The act of letting go through meditation opens up a creative flow that forcing never could. Meditation also enhances our ability to stay present and mindful in each moment. Visualize yourself in a crowded grocery store, feeling overwhelmed by the noise and bustle. Instead of rushing through your shopping list, pause for a moment, close your eyes, and take a few mindful breaths. Center yourself in the present moment. As you reopen your eyes, you feel more grounded and calm. By not forcing yourself to power through stress, but instead, taking a moment to center yourself, you navigate the chaos with ease and clarity. Another example is during a heated argument with a loved one. Instead of insisting on your point of view, you take a moment to meditate, focusing on your breath. This pause helps you to let go of the need to win the argument. When you return to the conversation, you are more open, compassionate, and able to listen without judgment. Meditation creates space for understanding and connection, breaking the cycle of forced interactions. Through consistent practice, meditation trains your mind to approach life's challenges with calm acceptance and focus. It's like tuning a musical instrument. Regular meditation helps you to keep your mind in harmony, allowing you to respond to life's ups and downs with greater ease and adaptability. So next time you feel the urge to force things to happen, take a moment to meditate. Focus on your breath, observe your thoughts, and let go of the need to control. By doing so, you will find that solutions appear more naturally, creativity flows more freely, and you move through life with greater peace and clarity. The first tip for dealing with stress through Stoic principles is to pause and take a moment to breathe. Think about those situations when life feels overwhelming, like a never-ending to-do list or an unexpected crisis. Instead of diving headfirst into panic mode, pause for a moment. Close your eyes and take a deep breath, feeling the air fill your lungs. Slowly exhale, letting go of tension. This simple act helps you to center yourself and brings a sense of calm, making it easier to handle whatever comes next. Imagine a lion preparing to pounce, but first, it pauses, focuses, and then moves with precision. Similarly, taking a moment to breathe helps you to tackle stress with clarity and control. The second tip involves the practice of negative visualization. This might sound counterintuitive, but it's quite effective. Picture this: you're stressed about a presentation at work. Instead of worrying endlessly about what might go wrong, take a moment to visualize the worst-case scenario. Maybe the projector fails, you stumble over your words, or a key point is forgotten. By facing these fears head-on in your mind, you begin to realize they are not as terrifying as they seem. This preparation helps you to feel less anxious and more confident. It's like knowing the secret twist in a plot before watching the movie. It takes the edge off and allows you to handle surprises calmly. The third tip is to turn your focus outward and practice acts of kindness. When we are stressed, it's easy to become consumed by our own worries. Instead, try doing something kind for someone else. Send a thoughtful message to a friend, hold the door open for a stranger, or compliment a colleague. These small gestures shift your focus from your stress to the well-being of others, creating a positive ripple effect. Think of it like planting seeds in a garden. Each act of kindness grows into a beautiful bloom that brightens not only others' days, but also your own. The fourth tip is to reflect on the impermanence of stress. Look back at past stressful situations you have faced. Maybe it was a tough exam, a job interview, or moving to a new city. Remember how at the time it felt overwhelming. And yet, here you are, having overcome those challenges. Remind yourself that just like those past stresses, the current one will also pass. It's like weathering a storm. No matter how fierce the storm, eventually, the sky's clear. This perspective helps you to see stress as temporary and manageable. The fifth tip involves creating a daily routine that includes time for rest and relaxation. Incorporating simple activities such as reading a book, going for a walk, or listening to music can significantly reduce stress levels. Think of it like charging your phone, just as your phone needs regular recharging to function well. Your mind needs regular moments of relaxation to stay sharp. By scheduling these breaks, you ensure that you maintain a balanced and less stressful life. Finally, adopt the Stoic practice of journaling. At the end of each day, take a few minutes to write down your thoughts and feelings. Reflect on what caused stress and how you handled it. This process helps you to gain insights into your reactions and learn from them. Imagine a ship's captain writing in a logbook, a daily record that helps navigate future voyages more smoothly. Similarly, journaling allows you to track your journey through stress and find better ways to cope. By incorporating these tips, breathing, negative visualization, acts of kindness, reflecting on impermanence, creating a relaxing routine, and journaling, you can manage stress more effectively using Stoic principles. Each tip offers a practical approach to staying calm and centered, helping you to navigate life's challenges with a lighter heart, in a clearer mind. The topic of relationships and expectations covers a significant aspect of Stoicism, and learning how not to force things in relationships can lead to healthier, more fulfilling interactions. Imagine trying to make your partner enjoy a hobby you love, like hiking. You plan an elaborate trip, but once on the trail, they seem miserable. Instead of pushing them to share your enthusiasm, accept that hiking might not be their thing and find activities you both enjoy. A funny scenario might be trying to get your partner into yoga. You set up mats, play calming music, but they keep falling over during the poses, making you both laugh. Instead of forcing it, you join them for a fun dance class they love, creating a joyful memory together. Another example is the classic case of trying to change a friend's habits. Picture this: you have a friend who's always late. You decide to fix them by giving constant reminders and setting up earlier meeting times, yet they still arrive late. Rather than getting frustrated, accept their tardiness and bring a book or some work to do while you wait. This way, you stay productive and stress-free, and your friend arrives to find you relaxed and happy, not annoyed. It's like discovering a bakery always has long queues rather than grumbling. Use the wait time to enjoy the aroma and chat with others in line. Consider a parent who wants their child to excel in a particular sport. They push them to practice, attend extra coaching, and participate in every tournament. However, the child might resist and grow to dislike the sport. Instead, by recognizing the child's interests and supporting them in what they naturally enjoy, like art or music, the parent can help them thrive in a way that feels authentic and joyful. Imagine the parent tries to force soccer practice, but the child ends up doodling on the sidelines. When they switch to an art class, the child's eyes light up, and they create amazing drawings, bringing pride and happiness to both. In romantic relationships, expectations can often lead to unnecessary pressure. Think of one partner expecting the other to always remember anniversaries and buy elaborate gifts. Instead of these expectations, appreciating small, thoughtful gestures can mean more. Imagine your partner forgets an anniversary, but surprises you with breakfast in bed the next morning. By letting go of rigid expectations, you can enjoy the spontaneity and love in simple acts, making the relationship more relaxed and joyful. Lastly, friendships can sometimes suffer when expectations are too high. Picture planning a friend's birthday party and expecting everything to go perfectly. Everyone shows up on time. The cake is flawless, and the music playlist hits all the right notes. But people arrive late, the cake gets smudged, and the music stops working. Instead of stressing, you laugh it off, order a pizza, and play charades, turning the mishaps into fun memories that strengthen the bonds of friendship. It's like trying to host a perfect dinner but burning the main course, so you all end up relishing the dessert early and sharing laughs. So, in relationships, whether with partners, friends, or family, Not forcing things and accepting each other's differences allows for deeper connections and shared joy. By embracing each other's unique qualities and finding humor in the unexpected, relationships become more harmonious and fulfilling. The topic of career and ambitions is another area where Stoicism can offer valuable insights, especially when dealing with career pressures. Imagine you're working on a critical project, and your boss is breathing down your neck for results. Instead of getting overwhelmed and stressed, apply Stoic principles to stay calm and focused. Picture this: you're like a chef in a busy kitchen, juggling multiple orders. Instead of panicking, you stay composed, prioritizing tasks and handling each one with precision. By focusing on what you can control, let your effort and attention to detail, and letting go of the pressure from your boss, you can perform your best without succumbing to stress. An amusing scenario might be dealing with a colleague who loves to take credit for your ideas. It can be frustrating, but instead of getting angry, you can approach it stoically. Imagine your colleague is like a magpie, always collecting shiny objects for themselves. Instead of competing, focus on contributing your best work and trust that your efforts will be recognized in the long run. You could even think of it as a teamwork exercise. Find humor in their antics and let it strengthen your resolve to continue producing great work. Consider the stress of job interviews where the stakes feel incredibly high. Picture yourself preparing meticulously, only to face an interviewer who seems uninterested or asks unexpected questions. Rather than panicking, take a deep breath and remember that you can only control your own responses, not the interviewer's reactions. Imagine it's like being a sailor in unpredictable weather. You cannot control the wind, but you can adjust your sails. Approach the interview with a calm mind, focusing on presenting your skills and experiences confidently, and let go of the outcome. A funny example might be setting ambitious career goals, like aiming for a promotion within a year, only to find out that the company is going through a reorganization. Instead of despairing, adapt your plans. Picture it as entering a maze where the paths keep changing. Instead of forcing your way through, enjoy the journey, learn from each twist and turn, and stay open to new opportunities. You might even discover a better role that you hadn't considered before. Another scenario is dealing with burnout from overworking. Imagine you've been working long hours without a break, feeling like a hamster on a wheel. Instead of pushing through the exhaustion, apply Stoic wisdom by taking a step back. Picture the hamster stepping off the wheel to catch its breath, realizing that the wheel will still be there when it's ready to return. By recognizing the importance of rest and balance, you can maintain your well-being and perform more effectively in the long run. In a competitive work environment, it's easy to get caught up in comparing yourself to others. Imagine feeling envious of a colleague who seems to be advancing faster. Instead of letting comparison steal your peace, focus on your own progress. Picture a gardener tending to their own plants, nurturing each one with care, rather than worrying about the neighboring garden. By concentrating on your own growth and celebrating your achievements, no matter how small, you can find satisfaction and motivation in your career journey. These examples show that by applying Stoic principles, you can navigate career pressures with a calm and focused mind. Focus on what you can control, adapt to new challenges, and maintain a balanced approach. By doing so, you will not only achieve your career ambitions, but also enjoy the journey with a lighter heart and a clearer mind. The topic of health and well-being highlights how not forcing outcomes can greatly benefit our physical and mental health. Picture yourself deciding to get fit by starting a rigorous exercise routine. You go all out running every morning, lifting weights and following a strict diet. But soon, you find yourself exhausted, sore, and dreading each workout. Instead of forcing yourself through this grueling regime, imagine approaching fitness with a bit more flexibility and kindness to yourself. Think of it like dancing. You do not need to master every move on the first try. Allow yourself to enjoy the process, maybe taking a leisurely walk or doing some yoga. By not forcing your body, you nurture it and avoid burnout, making it easier to maintain a healthy lifestyle. Consider the scenario of trying to follow a perfect diet. You plan every meal down to the last carrot stick, but then life happens. A friend invites you out to dinner, or you get a sudden craving for ice cream. Instead of beating yourself up for diverging from the plan, embrace the occasional indulgence with joy. Imagine your healthy eating habits as a balanced seesaw. A little treat now and then keeps things fun and sustainable. By not forcing strict dietary rules, you can enjoy your meals and still maintain overall good health. Think about getting quality sleep. You decide to stick to a strict bedtime, but find yourself lying awake, counting sheep and getting frustrated. Instead of forcing yourself to fall asleep, try relaxing your mind with a bedtime story or some calming music, like a lullaby for adults. Picture yourself like a baby being gently rocked to sleep. No pressure, just a soothing transition to dreamland. This relaxed approach can help you fall asleep more naturally and enjoy a restful night. Another real-life example is managing stress through mindfulness. Picture yourself meditating sitting with crossed legs, trying hard to clear your mind, but thoughts keep popping up like unwanted guests at a party. Instead of forcing the thoughts away, acknowledge them and let them pass, like watching clouds float by. Imagine your mind as a calm lake. Disturbances are just ripples that fade away. By not forcing a perfectly clear mind, you can reduce stress and achieve a genuine sense of peace. Consider trying to quit a bad habit, like smoking. You tell yourself it has to stop immediately, but the pressure makes you crave it even more. Instead, approach quitting with patience, setting small, manageable goals. Picture it like teaching a puppy new tricks. You wouldn't expect it to learn everything overnight. Gradual progress, coupled with kindness toward yourself, makes the journey more successful and less stressful. Lastly, think about the importance of relaxation and downtime. You plan a perfect spa day to unwind, but end up stressing over getting everything just right. The perfect bath temperature, the right scented candle, the ideal playlist. Instead of forcing a flawless relaxation experience, embrace the imperfections. Picture yourself like a cat lounging in the sun, content with whatever warmth and comfort it finds. By letting go of the need for a perfect relaxation, you can truly enjoy your downtime, refreshing both your body and mind. By not forcing outcomes in health and well-being, you allow yourself to enjoy the process, avoid unnecessary stress, and maintain a balanced approach. Treat your fitness journey like a dance. Enjoy the balance in your diet like a seesaw. Approach sleep like a gentle lullaby. Manage stress like floating clouds. Quit habits with puppy-like patience. And relax like a sunbathing cat. These playful perspectives can help you embrace a healthier, happier lifestyle, making well-being a natural part of your everyday life. The topic of financial decisions also benefits greatly from Stoic principles, helping us to make wise and calm choices about money. Imagine you see an investment opportunity that promises huge returns. The excitement builds up, but so does the anxiety. Instead of rushing into it, use the Stoic approach of pausing and evaluating. Picture yourself like a farmer deciding on the best time to plant seeds. You wouldn't hastily plant before the weather is right. You would consider the conditions and make a thoughtful decision. By taking a step back and carefully weighing the pros and cons, you can avoid impulsive financial decisions that might lead to losses. Consider the scenario of managing debt. You might feel overwhelmed by bills and loans, much like a sailor surrounded by rough seas. Rather than panicking and making hasty decisions, focus on what you can control. Picture yourself adjusting the sails and steering steadily through the storm. Create a realistic budget, set manageable goals, and gradually pay off your debts. By accepting the situation and taking deliberate, calm steps, you can navigate your way to financial stability without unnecessary stress. An amusing example might be handling unexpected expenses. Imagine your car breaks down and you need an expensive repair. This situation can be frustrating, but instead of getting upset, apply Stoic wisdom by focusing on the solution. Picture it like a game of chess where you must think strategically rather than react impulsively. By setting aside an emergency fund or reassessing your budget, you can manage surprise costs more effectively and maintain your peace of mind. Another scenario is dealing with financial setbacks, like a job loss or a significant decrease in income. These situations are challenging, but can be approached with resilience and adaptability. Picture yourself as a phoenix rising from the ashes, finding new opportunities and ways to rebuild. Instead of dwelling on the setback, focus on retraining, networking, and exploring new career paths. By maintaining a Stoic mindset, you can turn adversity into a chance for growth and new beginnings. Consider the pressure of keeping up with lifestyle inflation, where you feel compelled to spend more as you earn more, much like trying to keep up with the Joneses. Instead of succumbing to this pressure, embrace simplicity and contentment with what you have. Picture a minimalist with a tidy, uncluttered space, enjoying the peace that comes with fewer possessions and less financial strain. By prioritizing savings and meaningful expenditures over unnecessary luxuries, you can achieve greater financial security and contentment. Lastly, think about the importance of long-term financial planning. It can be tempting to focus on immediate gratification, but a Stoic perspective encourages patience and foresight. Picture an architect carefully designing a building, considering every detail to ensure it stands the test of time. Similarly, by planning for retirement, making smart investments, and setting long-term goals, you build a solid financial foundation for the future. This foresight helps you to avoid short-term temptations and stay committed to your long-term well-being. By applying Stoic principles to financial decisions, you make more thoughtful and balanced choices. Evaluate investment opportunities like a cautious farmer, manage debt like a steady sailor, handle unexpected expenses like a strategic chess player, approach setbacks like a resilient phoenix, embrace simplicity like a minimalist, and plan term like a meticulous architect. These strategies can help you achieve financial peace and stability, making money matters less stressful and more manageable. The topic of parenting and family life can also be enriched by Stoic principles, offering more peaceful and harmonious interactions. Imagine you are trying to get your child to clean their room. You lay out the rules, but they are more interested in playing with their toys. Instead of forcing them to clean up immediately, try turning it into a game. Picture a race where each toy they put away is a point scored. Suddenly, cleaning becomes fun, and both of you end up laughing rather than arguing. This approach not only gets the room cleaned, but also creates a positive experience. Consider the scenario of helping your child with homework. They might be struggling with a math problem and getting frustrated. Instead of pushing them to finish it quickly, take a moment to breathe and approach it with patience. Imagine you're both detectives solving a mystery, making the process more engaging and less stressful. By showing understanding and turning homework into a collaborative adventure, you help them learn without the pressure. Think about dealing with sibling rivalry. One sibling snatches a toy from the other, and suddenly, it's World War III. Rather than stepping in as a strict referee, try guiding them to resolve the conflict themselves. Picture yourself as a coach, teaching them negotiation skills like trading toys or taking turns. They learn to manage their disagreements, and you enjoy a few moments of peace. Another humorous scenario is managing a family outing. You plan a perfect day at the zoo, but it starts raining as soon as you arrive. Instead of forcing everyone to stick to the original plan, embrace the adventure. Imagine the rain turning the outing into a treasure hunt, finding shelter spots and making the best of the situation. The day becomes memorable not because everything went perfectly, but because you adapted and had fun together. In the morning rush before school, getting everyone ready can sometimes feel like herding cats. Socks are missing, lunches are forgotten, and tempers can flare. Instead of getting stressed, introduce a playful challenge. Picture a countdown timer where everyone races to beat the clock, with a small reward for those ready on time. This gamifies the routine and turns chaos into an exciting start to the day. Consider bedtime struggles where getting your child to sleep feels like negotiating a peace treaty. Rather than insisting they fall asleep immediately, create a calming ritual. Imagine a storytelling session where you both invent tales, making bedtime something they look forward to. This not only settles them down but also strengthens your bond. Lastly, think about family meals where picky eating can be a battle. Instead of forcing them to eat vegetables, involve them in meal prep. Picture yourselves as chefs creating a masterpiece dish together, letting them choose how to arrange their veggies. By making it a fun activity, they are more likely to try new foods without feeling pressured. By incorporating Stoic principles into parenting and family life, you turn potential conflicts into moments of connection and fun. Turn cleaning into a game, make homework a collaborative mystery, Guide siblings to manage conflicts. Embrace the unpredictability of outings. Gamify morning routines. Turn bedtime into storytelling. And make meals a creative adventure. These approaches not only reduce stress, but also foster a loving and resilient family environment, where everyone learns and grows together. The topic of mindfulness and presence emphasizes the importance of being fully engaged in the moment, allowing us to experience life more richly and deeply. Imagine you are at a family gathering, but instead of enjoying the conversations, you're preoccupied with work emails on your phone. By choosing to be present, you put the phone away and engage with your loved ones. Picture yourself playing a board game with your niece, laughing over silly moves, and creating cherished memories. This simple act of being mindful turns an ordinary evening into a heartfelt connection. Consider the scenario of having a meal. Often, we eat while watching TV or scrolling through social media, barely noticing the food. Instead, take a moment to savor each bite, appreciating the flavors and textures. Imagine you are a food critic tasting a dish for the first time, fully immersed in the experience. This mindfulness not only enhances your enjoyment, but also helps you to eat more healthily and notice when you are full. Think about a common situation like commuting to work. Instead of dreading the journey and getting lost in negative thoughts, try being present. Take in the sights, sounds, and even smells around you. Picture yourself as a tourist exploring a new city, finding beauty in the mundane. By being mindful, you transform a routine commute into an opportunity for discovery and relaxation. Another lighthearted example is when you're playing with your pet. Instead of throwing a toy absent-mindedly while thinking about your to-do list, focus on the playtime itself. Imagine you're a child again, fully engaged in the game. Notice the joy and excitement in your pet's eyes, and let it bring you happiness. This mindfulness strengthens your bond with your pet and brings a sense of joy to both of you. Consider the practice of mindfulness during exercise. Instead of pushing through a workout while thinking about your day, focus on each movement and how your body feels. Imagine you are a dancer, gracefully moving with the music, fully absorbed in the rhythm. This presence makes your exercise more enjoyable and effective, and it reduces the risk of injury. A fun example might be when you are at a park. Instead of worrying about upcoming tasks, take a moment to simply watch the children playing, the dogs running, or the leaves rustling in the wind. Picture yourself as an artist observing details for a future masterpiece. This mindfulness helps you to appreciate the beauty of nature and feel more connected to the world around you. Lastly, think about a situation where you are listening to a friend. Instead of thinking about what you will say next or getting distracted by your surroundings, give your full attention to your friend. Imagine you're a detective, listening for clues in their story. Your presence and attentiveness not only make your friend feel valued, but also deepen your understanding and connection. By practicing mindfulness and being present in these lighthearted ways, you enhance your life's experiences. Engage fully at family gatherings, savor your meals, explore your commute like a tourist, play with your pet like a child, exercise like a dancer, observe nature like an artist, and listen to friends like a detective. These small but powerful practices bring greater joy, connection, and appreciation to your daily life. Cultural stories from around the world beautifully illustrate Stoic principles, often teaching valuable lessons through engaging narratives. Let's start with a famous Chinese tale about Laozi, the ancient philosopher. Legend has it that Laozi, the founder of Taoism, once rode a water buffalo through the countryside. As he traveled, he saw a farmer struggling to pull his cart out of the mud. The farmer was frustrated, pushing and shoving without success. Laozi calmly approached and advised the farmer to stop forcing the cart and instead lighten the load. The farmer took Laozi's advice, removed some cargo, and easily freed the cart. This story teaches the value of going with the flow and not forcing things, much like the Stoic principle of accepting what is beyond our control. Another story comes from Japanese culture, the tale of the Zen master and the teacup. A university professor visited the Zen master to inquire about Zen. The master served tea, pouring until the cup overflowed. The professor exclaimed, "Stop, it is full." The master replied, "Like this cup, your mind is full. You must empty it first to learn." This tale illustrates the importance of clearing the mind and not being overwhelmed by preconceptions. a key Stoic concept of maintaining a clear perspective. In Indian folklore, there is the story of the monk Mullah Nasruddin. One day, Mullah was searching for something on the ground near a lamppost. A passerby asked what he was looking for, and Mullah replied that he had lost his keys inside his house. Confused, the passerby asked why he was searching outside. Mullah responded, "Because there is more light here." This humorous story reminds us of the Stoic principle of focusing our efforts where they are most effective, searching within ourselves for answers rather than looking in the wrong places. From Native American culture, there is the tale of the two wolves. A grandfather tells his grandson about a battle between two wolves that goes on inside everyone. One wolf represents anger, envy, and greed, while the other embodies peace, love, and kindness. The grandson asks which wolf wins, and the grandfather replies, "The one you feed." This story echoes the Stoic idea that we have control over our responses, and that nurturing positive qualities leads to a better life. In ancient Greek mythology, there is the story of Hercules at the crossroads. Hercules encountered two goddesses, Vice, who promised a life of ease, and Virtue, who offered a path of hard work and honor. Hercules chose the latter, knowing it would be more rewarding. This myth aligns with the Stoic belief in choosing the right path, even if it is difficult, and focusing on what we can control: our actions and choices. From African folklore, there is the story of Anansi the spider. Anansi wanted all the world's wisdom for himself, so he placed it in a pot and tried to hide it. However, the pot was too heavy, and Anansi struggled. His son, seeing his father struggle, suggested tying the pot to his back. Anansi realized that wisdom should be shared. This tale teaches the Stoic idea that wisdom comes from understanding and sharing, rather than hoarding and struggling alone. These cultural stories from China, Japan, India, Native American tribes, ancient Greece, and Africa convey Stoic principles such as acceptance, clear thinking, effective effort, nurturing positive qualities, making wise choices, and sharing wisdom. By learning from these engaging and timeless tales, we can see how Stoic ideas transcend cultures and resonate universally, guiding us toward a more balanced and fulfilling life. All right, now let's dive into some of your questions about not forcing things, all with a sprinkle of humor. Picture this: you're asking, what if I need to force myself to get out of bed in the morning? Well, think of your bed as a comfy but mischievous friend who just doesn't want to let go. Instead of a battle, set a challenge. Imagine a giant invisible catapult gently launching you into the day. Make it fun. Play your favorite upbeat song and envision yourself as a superhero getting up to save the day. Next question: how do I stop forcing myself to be perfect at work? Perfectionism. Picture trying to carve a statue with a butter knife. Silly, right? Instead, focus on progress rather than perfection. Take pride in your efforts, like a chef experimenting with new recipes. Sometimes the dish is a masterpiece. Sometimes it's an amusing disaster. But it's all part of the learning process. Another question coming in: what can I do when I try too hard to make everyone happy? The juggling act. Imagine you're trying to juggle flaming torches while riding a unicycle on a tightrope. Exhausting. Instead, picture yourself handing out balloons. You can't give everyone a balloon at once, but each person gets one eventually. Focus on being kind and present, and let go of the need to impress everyone. What about forcing myself to stick to a diet? Well, forcing a diet can be like wrestling with a greased pig, uncomfortable and slippery. Instead, think of your dietary choices as training a friendly puppy. Be gentle and consistent, rewarding yourself for good habits. Allow for treats now and then, and remember to enjoy the journey. How do I stop forcing relationships to work? Imagine trying to push two magnets together the wrong way. They just repel. Instead, focus on being the best version of yourself and see who naturally sticks around, like bees to a flower. Enjoy the connections that feel easy and let go of the ones that feel like you're pushing uphill. Finally, how can I let go of forcing things to happen and just let life flow? Picture a river, and you are in a canoe. Trying to paddle upstream is exhausting and unproductive. Instead, let the current take you. Trust that the river knows the way, and steer it gently as you go. Enjoy the ride, the sights, and the sounds around you. Life has a funny way of working out when you stop forcing it. So, embrace the unexpected and go with the flow like a leaf on the water. In summary, we have explored how Stoicism teaches us to differentiate between what we can control and what we cannot, and the importance of letting go and going with the flow. We delved into the wisdom of Epictetus and how our judgments, not events, cause us distress. We discussed the art of reframing situations, the practice of gratitude, and how visualization techniques can help us let go of burdens. We also looked at real-life examples of famous individuals like Marcus Aurelius, Nelson Mandela, and J.K. Rowling, who embodied Stoic principles to achieve remarkable success. Additionally, we covered practical Stoic practices for daily life, from starting your day with reflection to taking mindful breaks and finding humor in setbacks. To bring it all together, let me share a motivational yet funny story that perfectly illustrates these Stoic principles. Imagine a man named Bob who decided to build a treehouse for his kids. He had never built anything before but thought, how hard can it be? Bob started with enthusiasm, drawing up elaborate plans and buying all the materials. However, as he began to put it together, things went hilariously wrong. Nails bent, boards didn't fit, and at one point, the whole structure leaned precariously like a tower of cards. Instead of forcing himself to follow his plans to the letter and getting frustrated, Bob decided to go with the flow. He stepped back, took a deep breath, and let go of his expectations. He involved his kids, turning the project into a fun family activity. They improvised, using the materials creatively, and instead of a perfect treehouse, they built a quirky, imaginative playhouse with a slide made from an old piece of gutter and a swing from a recycled tire. The kids loved it, and Bob learned valuable lessons about patience, flexibility, and the joy of embracing the unexpected. So, next time you find yourself pushing too hard or trying to control every detail, remember Bob and his quirky playhouse. Let go of the need for perfection, involve others, and embrace the journey with a light heart and a playful spirit. By adopting Stoic principles, you will find that life's challenges become opportunities for creativity and growth, leading to a more fulfilling and joyful experience.